friends, in this lecture we will discuss problems of differentiation. First, let y and x, they are inverse functions of each other. Then derivative of inverse function dy by dx equal to 1 upon dx by dy. This is the formula for differentiation of inverse functions. You can check this thing. Y equal to f of x. So we know from the definition of inverse functions x equal to f inverse y. Thus you can observe f and f inverse, that is f and f inverse, they are inverse functions of each other. So x and y, they are inverse functions of each other. In such a cases, dy by dx equal to 1 upon dx by dy. For example, y equal to sin inverse x prove that dy by dx equal to 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. For example, for y equal to sin inverse x, prove that dy by dx equal to 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. Now y equal to sin inverse x, therefore x equal to sin y, therefore dx by dy equal to derivative of x with respect to y, that is derivative of sin y with respect to y, it is cos y. Now you can observe y and x, they are inverse functions of each other. They are inverse functions of each other, x and y or sin and sin inverse. So d by dx of sin inverse x, this is nothing but dy by dx, because y equal to sin inverse x. By the formula of derivative of inverse functions, dy by dx equal to 1 upon dx by dy. So this is 1 upon dx by dy. Now put value of dx by dy, it is cos y. So 1 upon cos y. Here function is defined in its proper domain. So we know mod x, it is less than or equal to 1. But here we have to use this thing, mod x less than 1. So this implies minus 1 less than x less than 1. Now this is cos y, 1 upon cos y under root 1 minus sin square y, 1 minus sin square theta cos square theta. So cos y under root 1 minus sin square y. Sin y, it is nothing but x. So this is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. Thus d by dx of sin inverse x equal to 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. Similarly, second result, you note that, for example, prove that d by dx of tan inverse x, here mod x less than 1, 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now one can prove this result easily, because let y equal to tan inverse x, therefore dy by dx, y equal to tan inverse x, so x equal to tan y. Now tan and tan inverse, tan and tan inverse, they are inverse functions of each other, that is x and y. They are inverse functions of each other, so we have to use these results. Dy by dx equal to 1 upon dx by dy, formula for the derivative of inverse functions. Now x equal to tan y, so dx by dy, derivative of x with respect to y, but x equal to tan y, so derivative of tan y with respect to y, it is sec square y. Therefore now d by dx of tan inverse x, so this is nothing but tan inverse x, it is y, so dy by dx, it is nothing but using formula of derivative of inverse functions, this is 1 upon dx by dy. Now dx by dy value is sec square y, so 1 upon sec square y. Using identity, sec square means 1 plus tan square y, so this is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus tan square y, tan y it is x, so tan square y. So thus we have obtained d by dx of tan inverse x equal to 1 upon 1 plus x square. So similarly you can obtain d by dx of cot inverse x, it is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. Easily you can prove this result. D by dx of cot inverse x equal to minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. To derive this thing, either use this method or there is an alternate method. If you have result of d by dx of tan inverse x, using it also you can derive d by dx of cot inverse x. For example, d by dx of cot inverse x, it is nothing but d by dx of cot inverse x pi by 2 minus tan inverse x. So this is because we know tan inverse x plus reason is tan inverse x plus cot inverse x pi by 2. Therefore now pi by 2 is constant, so derivative is 0. we have derived d by dx of tan inverse x 1 upon 1 plus x square. So simplification is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. So using the formula of d by dx of tan inverse x, you can derive result d by dx of cot inverse x equal to minus 1 upon 1 plus x square, x belongs to R. So easily using this basic formula, dy by dx equal to 1 upon dx by dy. This is derivative of inverse functions. One can get differentiation of all the 6 inverse trigonometric functions: sin inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, cot inverse x, sec inverse x, and cosec inverse x. Now again recall what is f dash a. You recall what is f prime a or f dash a. This is nothing but d by dx of f of x at x equal to a, or there are two different methods. This is using derivative, or you can say that using definition, or f prime a, this is d by dx of f of x at x equal to a. We discussed two different things. For example, take f of x equal to sin x. Now question is obtain f prime pi by 2. So f prime pi by 2, f dash or f prime pi by 2. Now two meaning, we use both the method so that you can note the difference between it. This is d by dx of f of x, d by dx of f of x at x equal to pi by 2, d by dx of f of x at x equal to pi by 2. So here f dash x, derivative of sin x, this is cos x, therefore f dash pi by 2. So evaluate at x equal to pi by 2. So this is cos 90, which is 0. Now if we use definition f prime pi by 2, you recall the definition. So there must exist limit x tends to pi by 2 f of x minus f of pi by 2 upon x minus pi by 2. Say you recall definition f prime x, okay, or say f dash a limit x tends to a, f of x minus f of a upon x minus a, this limit must exist. This limit must exist. So let us evaluate this limit. This is limit x tends to pi by 2 f of x sin x sin 90 minus sin 90 x minus pi by 2. This is limit x tends to pi by 2 sin x minus 1 sin 91 upon x minus pi by 2. Now to evaluate this limit, put x minus pi by 2 equal to theta. We suppose x minus pi by 2 equal to theta. So as x tends to pi by 2, theta will tends to 0, because you see here if you put x equal to pi by 2, 90 minus 90, so theta will be 0, and x equal to pi by 2 plus theta. So if we get expression for x, then x will be pi by 2 plus theta. So this limit is now limit theta tends to 0, as x tends to pi by 2, theta will tends to 0. So limit theta tends to 0, sin x, it is pi by 2 plus theta minus 1, this is theta, sin 90 plus theta, it is cos theta minus 1 upon theta, so we take minus common, minus limit theta tends to 0, 1 minus cos theta upon theta, use surd of numerator, 1 plus cos theta, 1 plus cos theta. So this is minus limit theta tends to 0, numerator 1 minus cos square theta, so it is sin square theta, so this is sin theta by theta into sin theta into 1 upon 1 plus cos theta. This is 1 minus cos square, that is sin square, so sin square, it is sin theta into sin theta, sin theta by theta, theta tends to 0, 1, so this limit is minus 1 into sin 0, 0 upon 1 plus cos 0, 1, so this is minus 1 into 0, so answer is 0. So this is f prime pi by 2 using definition, but this is only for our understanding, no need to do this thing. We will use this method, derivative of f prime x derivative of f of x. It is cos x, evaluate at x equal to pi by 2. Now, some basic thing, what is f dash 0 using definition, limit x tends to 0 f of x minus f of 0 upon x minus 0. Okay, so f prime 0, limit x tends to 0 f of x minus f of 0 upon x minus 0. We take one illustration related to this definition. For example, if f prime x equal to f of x and f of 0 equal to 1, then limit x tends to 0 f of x minus f of 0 upon x minus 0. So this is, then evaluate. So let us evaluate. Then evaluate limit x tends to 0 f of x minus 1 upon x. This is the question. This is given and evaluate this thing. So check that. What is limit x tends to 0 f of x minus 1 upon x. For 1 we can write f of 0. So this is nothing but limit x tends to 0 f of x. For 1 we have written f of 0 upon x minus 0. We can write denominator as x minus 0. This is nothing but f prime 0. So this is f prime 0, but we have given f dash x equal to f of x. So this is f dash 0 equal to f of 0, but f of 0 is again given, it is 1, this is 1. So value of the limit is 1. So thus limit x tends to 0 f of x minus 1 upon x, value of this limit is 1. So only for practice we will take some problems of derivative. Second illustration, say this formula d by dx of log x equal to 1 upon x, but here base should be e. But if base is not e, for example, evaluate log x to the base 7 d by dx of. So we have to use this formula of logarithm. Log a to the base b, it is log a upon log b to change the base e. Here base b, while here base e. So this is the formula of logarithm to change the base. So here log x to the base 7. So you can't differentiate this as 1 upon x because base is 7. So first we have to change the base of this logarithm using this formula. So here d by dx of log x to the base 7. So first let us change the base. So this is d by dx of log x upon log 7 to the base e. You can observe we have changed the base using this formula. Now 1 upon log 7 to the base e, that is constant, you can take it outside. Now this is log x to the base e, so we can differentiate it as 1 upon x, our standard formula. So whenever you differentiate function containing log, always you check the base. If base is e, then d by dx of log x is 1 upon x. Otherwise, using this formula, first you change the base, then you have to differentiate. We take one more example. For example, evaluate d by dx of log of x to the base 10. So as usual, first we have to change the base because here base is 10. So using that formula, this is d by dx of log x upon log 10. We have to change the base and base must be e. So let us change the base. This is. So we have used this formula of changing the base. Now we are able to differentiate this thing. You note that 1 upon log 10 to the base e, this is constant as a coefficient. You can take it outside the derivative. So log 10 to the base e. Now d by dx of log x, base is e. So you can differentiate it as 1 upon x. So this is the solution. We take another example for practice. And if base is not mentioned, then we assume that base is e. Now y square equal to 4a into x plus a. Question is obtain dy by dx. So whenever y is function of x, here x is independent, y is dependent. We always assume that y is implicit function of x. Say here if we write y equal to sin x, this is explicit function, directly y is function of x. But when we write x square plus y square equal to 1, so here y is given as implicit function of x. because from this you can get two function, y square equal to 1 minus x square. So y equal to plus minus under root 1 minus x square. This is valid only for restricted domain of x mod x less than or equal to 1. So here y is given as implicit function of x. So whenever implicit function means always what is the difference? You note the difference. Suppose you differentiate x square, then its derivative 2x, that's all. But if you differentiate y square and y is implicit function, always you have to consider y as implicit function of x. So you note this difference. Here derivative is 2y using the formula of x raised to n, but y is as implicit function of x, so into by chain rule dy by dx. This is the difference between derivative of x square with respect to x and derivative of y square with respect to y. Always we will assume that y as a implicit function of x. We take another example. For example, we take two different things, sin x and sin y. Suppose we are going to differentiate both the with respect to x, d by dx of sin x, d by dx of sin y. Here derivative of sin x, cos x, that's all. But here y you have to consider as implicit function of x. So when you differentiate sin y, its derivative is cos y, and y, since y is implicit function of x, so by chain rule you have to differentiate y with respect to x, so into dy by dx. This is the difference between derivative of sin x with respect to x and derivative of sin y with respect to y. We take another example. For example, d by dx of log x and d by dx of log y. So here derivative of log x 1 upon x, that's all. But here derivative of log y 1 upon y, and y is as implicit function of x, so into by chain rule dy by dx. We take one more example. For example, you take x cube and y cube. Suppose you differentiate both with respect to x. So here derivative of x cube 3x square, that's all. But here derivative is 3y square, and inside you have to consider y as an implicit function of x, so by chain rule dy by dx. So you can note the difference between derivative of x cube with respect to x and derivative of y cube with respect to x. So again we recall our original sum is y equal to y square equal to 4a into x plus a. So differentiate both sides with respect to x. So when we differentiate left hand side 2y, y is implicit function of x, dy by dx. This is right hand side, this is 4ax plus 4a square. Derivative of x with respect to x 1 into 4a, so this is 4a. 4a square constant, so derivative is 0. Now get value for dy by dx. We have to obtain dy by dx. So dy by dx equal to 4a upon 2y. So therefore dy by dx equal to 2a by y. 2a by y. Important thing is, in this example you have to consider y as an implicit function of x. So we take one more example. D by dx of evaluate d by dx of tan inverse x, tan inverse 3x at x equal to 3. So when we differentiate d by dx, first we have to use this formula. D by dx of tan inverse x equal to 1 upon 1 plus x square. So here d by dx of tan inverse 3x, using this formula, 1 upon 1 plus x square, so 9x square, 9x square. Again inside it is function of x, so by chain rule d by dx of 3x, so this is 3. Okay, you can observe first derivative of tan inverse x. So according to 1 upon 1 plus x square, it is 1 upon 1 plus 9x square, and into by chain rule d by dx of 3x, that is 3. Therefore now we evaluate at, therefore d by dx of tan inverse 3x at x equal to 3. So put x equal to 3 in the derivative. So answer is 3 upon 1 plus 9, x equal to 3, 3 square. So this is nothing but 3 upon 1 plus simplification. So this is 3 upon 82. We take more example for practice. Consider function f of x equal to tan 7x upon 3x if x not equal to 0, and value of the function is k if x equal to 0. Find out k if f is continuous at x equal to 0. Solution: f is continuous at x equal to 0. So by definition of continuous function, limit x tends to 0, f of x equal to f of 0. Therefore, this is limit x tends to 0, 10 7x upon 3x, f of 0, it is k. So let us evaluate this limit. This is 1 by 3, limit x tends to 0, 10 7x, this is x. Now to evaluate this, multiplied and divide by 7. As x tends to 0, 7x will also tends to 0, so equal to k. By formula this limit is 1, so k equal to 7 by 3. So we have used the definition of continuous functions. Since f is continuous at x equal to 0, so by definition limit x tends to 0, f of x equal to f of 0. We have used this definition. We take more example. Evaluate d by dx of cot inverse x at x equal to minus 3. So first we use this formula, d by dx of cot inverse x, it is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. So actually this is nothing but minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. Evaluate at x equal to minus 3. So this is minus 1 upon 1 plus, so this is nothing but minus 1 upon, this is 9. So answer is minus 1 upon 10. Again note that d by dx of cot inverse x, so derivative of cot inverse x minus 1 upon 1 plus x square, evaluated at x equal to minus 3. So put x equal to minus 3. So here we have taken x equal to minus 3 and get simplification. So it will be minus 1 upon 1 plus 10. We take one more example. Evaluate d by dx of x into mod x, x greater than 0. So to evaluate this thing, you have to use the definition check this definition. Mod x equal to x if x greater than or equal to 0, and mod x equal to minus x if x less than 0. But we have given that x is greater than 0. So this is nothing but d by dx of x into x, mod x equal to x, because x greater than 0. So this is d by dx of x square. So this is nothing but two x. Okay. So same thing you can differentiate in the case of x less than 0. Now we take one simple example. Evaluate d by dx of x raised to a raised to x, a raised to a plus sine square a. So here x raised to a, so derivative is ax raised to a minus 1. Now we have used this formula to differentiate second term, d by dx of a raised to x. It is a raised to x into log a to the base e. D by dx of a raised to x, a raised to x into log a to the base. So this is a raised to x log a. Now a raised to a, it is constant, there is no variable x, so this is constant, so derivative is 0. Similarly sine square a is also constant because there is no x, where x is the variable, so it is constant. So answer is a x raised to a minus 1, a raised to x log a to the base e. So you note this, these two thing is constant, so derivative is 0.